Greetings, everybody. David Avocado Wolfe here. I'm joined by Ramiz Saad. He is an incredible scientist, a researcher, been at it for 43 years. Really saved himself from type 2 diabetes by his own discoveries, and just saw what was going on in the lab, took his own action, right, based on what you had learned, and changed the course of your life, and also changed the course of many lives, because him and I had worked together on this book right here, Shaga, King of the Medicinal Mushrooms, now I think 8 years old, and wonderful chapter that you had done in here with your, let's see, 142.
Page 142.
142, yeah. This is...
Let the science talk.
Let the science talk, right? So people say, are you scientific? Look, we actually are scientific. It's amazing, right? We live in a world where, you know, big companies can get away with, really, it's fraud, where they'll have 50 studies that are terrible, 3 that are good. They'll throw the 50 away, make sure you never see them, and they'll say, oh, well, we have these 3, and this is good for this product, right? So we actually really want to look at all of the data, and there's no agenda. It's like, wait, this is people's health and our own health, so we want to know. And Ramiz has come up with some extraordinary discoveries on longevity that we're going to share with you right now.
Yeah. Back again, thanks very much, David. You know, I really appreciate you, and I appreciate all the work you have done. I remember almost maybe 12 years ago, Robin, sent me an email. She said, Ramiz, would you love to come to California? We have our longevity conference. I said, I love to do that. He said, okay, David is really, giving me an invitation to come. I said, I will pay. He said, no, we want you, to come. And then I went there. It was amazing longevity conference. It had almost 600 people, good-looking ladies. I have to admit. Anyway, but really we went there, and we met so many people coming for David Wolfe from around the world. Hi, Daniela from Japan. I met Daniela from Japan. She came to California to see David Wolfe. Hi, Daniela. And I met so many people, Marina Love,
Yeah.
So many people which really they come to attend because he spent the money, the effort, and bring top-notch speaker to where this longevity conference is. He brings Dr. Marcola, he brings the top-notch doctor from around the world who has something to say, about that. And you can comment on that.
Right on, thank you. I mean, we've spent, we did 16 longevity conferences, and there will be more going on in the future, but one of the people that I really want to get on the stage next time is this man right here, because he has continued in his lab to not only break through for his own health based on the discoveries he's made, but also to kind of innovate and present to us what he really believes are the, I guess, real leading edge breakthroughs in this field. And we're going to share with many of those with you right now.
Correct. And really, what I like about David again, he, he talk the talk and walk the walk, what they say, right? Okay. What I mean by that...
Thank you, by the way. It's not always easy.
No, but really, the other day when I went to a longevity conference, I saw that man in the gym at 6 o'clock. I said, David, what do you do here? And he was full of energy exercising. And then he went to yoga. That means that he's not tired. His ATP is good. That means whatever he does good. Then whatever he advised, he did never pay me anything, okay? He paid me for a little bit, but what I'm trying to say here, this is really real about David, okay? Then, when I went to longevity, one question was on my mind always, okay? Why people live for long life? And everybody in the world talking why we live. Some people live to become 120. We heard in the Bible some people live to 500. We heard some people live to 50. Some, then there is difference. And then I ask myself, why is this? And I listen to so many of your speakers, which they give me some hint. And then I said, okay, I'm going to really and then I wrote a point here. What is this phenomena of living for long? It must have a phenomena. because nothing in the world just like this.
It's not random.
It's not random. You have to have a phenomenon. The apple when it fall, they say gravity. You know, the sun when it rise, it must have a phenomena behind it.
Yeah.
I want to find out this phenomenon.
What that is. Okay.
Exactly.
Yes.
And really what happened here, you know, I analyzed so many hair of dead people. People who died recently. I took their hair and I went to the lab and then I analyzed it. And then when I analyzed these people who are dead, I found something very, very interesting. I found out that they have rare earth element coming out
In the hair.
in the hair. That means that the body really released this rare earth element, correct? And that's why I can see it in the hair. Then I asked another question. I said, okay, if I can see that rare earth element, you know, in the hair of the people who died, how about if people die, you know, drawing, say, they swimming?
Oh, okay. So they died accidentally.
Accidentally.
So you were analyzing the hair of people who had died in a hospital, or
Correct.
who had died of a degenerative disease or
Correct.
something, or cancer or
Correct.
something like that, and you're finding rare earth elements. And let's just clarify what that is. You have a periodic table of the elements. I want to grab this.
Correct.
We're going to just show you what the, you know, this is our mineral theory, right? So when we hear, oh, you've got to eat vitamins and minerals, minerals has to do with this right here, the periodic table of the elements. There's a good look at Ramiz. Look how he uses this. I mean, this guy's an active scientist and researcher. And over here, you can see these are the alkaline elements here. Over here, the noble gases, the halogens, the lanthanide group. You know, all these interesting. The what's the ones in the middle again? The
Oh, like there is trace element, there's electrolytes. You first, you know, you have the halogen, you have hydrogen.
Let's see that one. That one's a little bit
Okay,
more readable. Okay, so you guys can see all that, and you can see that, like, okay, there's zirconium. There over here is sodium, lithium, hydrogen, magnesium, calcium, strontium. You can see that they actually, there's iodine over there. There's xenon, krypton, argon, helium, hydrogens over here, boron, carbon, nitrogen, oxygen, right? This is our mineral theory that we're working with. Now, these rare earth elements are where on this chart right here?
Correct. There are 17 elements down here.
Down there, okay.
Okay. To read them, you need a very, very specific machine.
Yep.
It's called inductive coupled plasma mass spectrometer.
Oh, geez, that's a mouthful.
Yeah. Dynamic cell reaction.
Okay,
I did not say
phenomenal.
it the whole word.
So that's that machine that's like a $500,000 machine. I remember seeing that in his lab, and this lab was incredible. It's like I think you guys had 5 machines there.
Correct.
Phenomenal.
Correct. And this machine, like, you know, can detect like really very, very small elements, you know. And then really what happened, I was really interested on finding out why is this. My mother used to tell me long time ago, you know, that my grandfather knew that he's going to die. And then I used to say, Mom, how
did he
come?
know?
How did he know? You know, and that was very interesting. She said to me a story that, you know, after 3 days, he waked up and he said, you know, after 3 days, I'm going to die, or like I'm going to die soon. And he did. He died after 3 days. That story kept in my mind for a long time. What is this? You know, is that phenomena? You understand? Then really, like, what I found out later on, that really this phenomena, it's a phenomena. Because really what happens, there was something in the lysosome which it keeps this rare earth element, which you find it in the hair of the dead people. What this lysosome is, it breaks down, releasing all this rare earth element.
Okay, so tell us about lysosomes, and then also you're going to get into about if somebody died of drowning. So they didn't die of a degenerative disease or of
Correct.
old age.
Correct.
There's a difference
Correct.
in the hair. Good. Let's hit both those points. So lysosome, what's that?
Lysosome, this is like where is like all the digestive enzyme.
Those are all lysosomes.
This all lysosomes, and plus, like, you know, when I took, you know, some specific, you know, digestive enzyme, I found out it has this rare earth element.
Interesting. Okay, in the digestive
Enzyme. Then what happened is this lysosome too is detoxification as well. It takes the garbage out.
Uh-huh.
Then really what happened, you keep thinking of what's really happening here. This is a big story. And when I work in a subject, it's not coming like this. No, it comes like, a piece here, then I wait for a year, and then another piece, and another piece, until like, you put everything together.
Yeah.
And then what after that is I found out that really this is a phenomena. And what's very interesting, I went another day to a health show. And when I went to a health show,
This is an amazing book, Rare Earths, Forbidden Cures by Dr. Joel Wallach, who's a well-known veterinarian. You may have heard of him. He did a lot of incredible lectures all over the world about minerals.
Correct, exactly. And really what happened, this doctor was nominated for Nobel Prize. He did not get it, but he was nominated, and this big. Plus, he's really full of information. I follow him all the time. At that time, I did not have in my pocket, when I went to this health show, I had maybe $40, and I had to go back to Toronto, and they didn't have my car. And I said, how much is this book? He said, like $30. I said, shall I buy it? Not. Is it worth it? I said, I'll buy it. And it's always like this. I pay for my brain more than I pay for my body.
Uh-huh.
Because this is a curiosity of a scientist,
Yeah.
crazy scientist.
Yeah.
Then I bought that book and I read it.
Let me just get that book up for everyone to see it. Very interesting book right there. Thick, right? And very, very powerful information. I mean, powerful information. But keep going.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're on the rare earth elements, and we're talking about the lysosomes. Now, what I'm getting from what you're saying is that as somebody ages, their lysosomes break down.
Correct.
They lose enzymes, and so it's going to So then those rare earth elements
shows,
the
break
hair.
down and shows in the hair, and the person who's dying feel it inside his body.
Uh-huh.
Then he wake up next day or like the day after, he say, I feel like, give me I want to see all my family. I want to see my son. I want to see all this, because he knows that he's going to die.
Yeah.
And then this is because of the phenomena. I'm not saying this more research needed. I'm just saying my thinking and,
Based on the evidence you've
Exactly.
obturned. Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay, so now that shows up in the hair. So let me see if I'm going to take this one step ahead, and then I want to talk about if somebody dies accidentally and what happens to their hair then.
Correct.
So it should be possible to tell by analyzing people's hair how close they are to death. Is that true?
It can show you really if most of the people they won't have like the rare earth element on them. The people who's dying
We'll have it.
will have it.
So if you start testing people's hair and you see the rare earth element, you probably go into an alarm like, oh, this person's close to death.
Correct. But actually now there is no lab in the world do rare earth element.
Really?
Yeah.
So how do you test? How do you?
What happened, because I'm crazy guy, when I was a supervisor, and this is really a story, and I hope Ralph Siebert, my manager at Maxam, confirms this theory. And I always say a theory with a person, then you can connect with him and say this happened or not. I was a supervisor, and Ralph was my manager. On his back, I went and I bought all the standard, because you have to calibrate the machine.
Mm-hmm.
When you work with the machine, you have to have a calibration machine, and you have to tell the machine, okay, this has cesium, it has rubidium, it has potassium, it has lanthanum, it has neodymium, it has all this earth element. If you don't have that, then you cannot really run the sample.
Right, it's like a calibration. So it's kind of like
Calibration.
if I'm going to, like sometimes with scales or something, you have to calibrate
Exactly.
the scale to make sure it's accurate. Okay.
Exactly. And then on his back, I ordered the solution. Cost me $400 at that time, And then I went Saturday and Sunday, and I created a method which can test this earth element. I can test 100 elements, not just 60.
Wow.
Then when I test this 100 elements, I ran like my hair, like lots of hair, because at that time I was doing collection of hair analysis from around the world, as a researcher. And Pierre used to pack me up because he was president of the company,
Right.
you know. And then really what happened, when I analyzed, I went around the world and I picked up 2,000 hair samples from dead, from sick, and from healthy. And I shoot them with the machine, you know, to find out what really I'm going to find out. And then after I ran them, I saw like this kind of
Certain patterns.
That's right. And when I check something, I checked it an element by element. I don't let the computer check it. And then when I check all this data I have, you know, when I check this element, I found out that, you know, these people like I did not know any of them, which is they knew that they are going to die. But, you know, I found out later on that this is really the rare earth element because of this lysosome breakdown. Okay. Then really what happened, to make this long story short, Ralph, when he found out that I bought this, you know, stander, he came, he said, Ramiz, did you order the stander? I said, yes, Ralph. He said, why did you do that? All this, give me hard time, you know. But he was so nice, you know, thanks, Ralph. And he understands that I'm crazy, but I'm scientific. I love to see something. And he said, please, Ramiz, don't do it again. I said, okay, Ralph, I can pay it from my pocket. But he said, no, don't pay it. You know, he was so nice, you know. Yeah. And that's what happened. But anyway, I analyzed lots of other foods. And listen to this. Okay?
This is going to be interesting. Okay. Okay, we got a few minutes here. Lay it on them, Ramiz, because we can't go too long in our video right here. We'll lose people. Here we go.
Okay. What happened is, like, you know, when I tested the food, I tested 7 foods, which I found out that they have this rare earth element. And that's what I call them super duper food.
Superfoods wasn't good enough, so these are super duper foods. So of these 7 foods, out of everything you're testing,
correct,
we're showing up with these rare earth elements.
Exactly.
Which, to my mind, would say, okay, they would be contributing to longevity and to enzymes, right?
Correct.
I mean,
Exactly.
Exactly. That's what I'm getting from what you're saying.
What's number 1?
It's got to. Well, I know a little bit about this because you have mentioned, you know, briefly in passing certain things. One of them is cacao.
One of them is
cacao.
That's why, and that was your cacao, actually.
Okay, interesting.
Because at that time, like, you know, I took your cacao and I went to the lab, and, you know, it was your cacao.
Now another one I know for sure has to be on the list from conversations we've had before has got to be green tea.
Green tea.
Green tea is another one on the list.
And that's why you see all the countries which drink green tea, they are really living for long.
Yeah.
Chinese, Japanese, you know, and this is what happened. And
Persians,
that's confirmed.
Yeah.
Persian. That's confirmed the theory that this element, it has connection with longevity.
That's correct. Okay.
Because if it does not, where is this? What's happening? Okay. Then I wrote them down here. Then
so this is going to be interesting.
Yeah. See here, like find.
Okay. So green tea, cacao. Here's a big one. Turmeric. We kind of know. Like, I think everyone's getting aware of this.
Correct.
It's a rushing new discovery that turmeric is really something special, which it's in the ginger family, you know, the super anti-inflammatory orange root turmeric, but also contains the rare earth elements.
Correct. Curcumin.
Wow.
Yeah. You know.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Okay, and so then let's see what else we got. Oh, black seed. Really? Black cumin seed. So black seed oil has been a big product I've sold on and off for many years. Andreas Oils, wonderful product, is black seed oil. This is in the Middle East. Black seed oil is the most prized thing in all food.
Prophet Muhammad said, if you take black seed, you know, it can cure you from all diseases except death. Then if you died, it cannot get you back to life, but it can heal you. That's what Prophet Muhammad said.
Wow.
There is lots of paper written about the black seed.
Black seed is powerful stuff.
When I test this and I saw these things and I put them together, I was really shivering. You know, I said, Ramiz, why God is giving you all this information? You know, it give you for a good reason. Share it. And really, when I thought about it, I said, who's the best person to share it with? And I found out nobody more than David Wolfe.
Thank you.
Really.
Thank you.
Yeah. And
okay, now another one. This is a big one. I know the next one we're going to, which is cinnamon. And this is something, we hear a lot about this, Ramiz, because there's the different cinnamons, right? There's the original one that's like from Sri Lanka.
Yeah.
That's the something with a Z. What is that? The cinnamon.
There is two cinnamon.
Okay.
There is one which can damage your kidney.
Uh-huh.
Don't take it.
Okay.
There is one which is good one. I can get you the real name, the scientific name.
Yep.
I can email it to you, and maybe you can share it with your
I'm
fans.
sure it's the Sri Lanka one. I remember looking into this, but I'll confirm it. I'll put it in the description below, and we'll make sure you have the right one. So
Correct.
cinnamon also, and interestingly, one of our colleagues lived to be 114, and one of his main things was cinnamon tea. He drank cinnamon tea all the time, which to my mind, I always kept going, oh, it's probably because of blood sugar, because you know how dangerous high blood sugar can be. But maybe it was because of the rare earth elements. That's just a whole nother discovery. We'll do a whole video on that. Stay tuned on that. And then what else? So we've got green tea, turmeric, cacao,
Okay.
cinnamon, black, and thyme. We've been having an infestation of thyme in my garden. It's been a whole talk all summer. It's been an interesting summer. We actually had to pull all the thyme out. This is interesting, Ramiz. We had this idea of taking all the thyme out, and instead of just composting it, we burned it all.
Wow.
And then we took all that ash and we put that back into the garden.
Wow.
Yeah, and so this may have something to do with this. I don't know. Instincts sometimes override.
The data is unbelievable, and
On
I have
time.
the data, I have the analysis, and it's really amazing. You know, the data never lie, too. Okay, and the data come from the machine.
Wow. So thyme of all things.
Correct.
And then what's this one? Pine needle.
Pine needle, za'atar.
What's that mean?
Za'atar in the Middle East, you guys know za'atar. You know za'atar? Za'atar is a sign. In the Middle East, they call it za'atar.
Okay,
But
they don't.
it's a sign.
Oh, but it's thyme.
Yeah,
Okay.
it is the same, but the name is za'atar.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. And pine needle.
And
Pine needle.
pine needles.
Correct.
Whoa.
The
Interesting.
Japanese are really, really into pine needle.
And pine needles.
Correct.
We use, in our community, in our health community, we use a lot of pine pollen. That's one of the things that we really focus in on for longevity, actually.
Correct.
I wonder if they're related because obviously if pine needles have it, maybe the pine pollen has it too.
Correct. Look at this one. Digestive enzyme and lipase
Yep.
to digest lipid,
Fats.
which is really very high into into rare earth element.
Yes, interesting.
Yeah.
So lipase,
Lipase,
digestive enzymes.
Diam.
It makes a lot of sense because when you hear people have pancreatic problems,
Yeah.
I know that the pancreas has such a high demand for trace minerals.
Correct.
And maybe even rare earth minerals, and maybe that's because that's what it is needed to form the enzymes.
Oh, that's very interesting. I've never thought about this.
That's definitely out there. I've read that before.
Wow.
I've actually been talking about that for a lot of years. There's a connection there. So something of interest for sure. So these trace elements then, these trace rare earth elements in particular.
17 of them.
There's 17 of
Correct,
them.
correct.
Okay, so we'll see if we can compile a list.
Yeah.
I don't know if it'll be in this video, but we'll get it into another video for you of what those rare earth elements are. But let's go through that quickly again. So we've got cacao, green tea, turmeric, pine needles, cinnamon, thyme, and black seed, black cumin, of which we know in the Middle East
And
is
lipase.
so loved.
Yeah. And lipase.
And
enzyme.
lipase enzyme has it. Fantastic. Okay, we kept you long enough. Thanks for listening. David Avocado Wolfe shared here for the first time ever. Super duper foods, even beyond anything ever before.
Longevity.
Really to induce longevity.
I forgot to say something. Okay, I went around and I said to people, "Do you know anybody live from 80 years to 120?" And I want to see like somebody lived for a long time. Am I going to see these people with rare earth element or not? Amazing discovery that people who lives for a long time, I found out that the balance of all minerals are perfect, no rare earth element
in the hair.
in the hair.
Interesting.
Very
So
interesting.
again, when someone's dying, those rare earth elements come out.
Exactly.
But if you're healthy, they should be in,
Correct.
so you're not going to show up in your hair.
Correct.
Interesting.
Yeah, yeah.
Fascinating. All right. We're signing off here from Pharmacia in the beaches of Toronto. If you're ever in this area, come on down to Pharmacia right here on Queen Street in the beaches. What's the address here? 2096 Queen. Queen Street East.
Yeah,
2096 Queen Street East. And Ramiz the BioChemist on YouTube. Ramiz space the BioChemist. Ramiz is Ramiz. And then you can also find him on Instagram. What's your Instagram? At Ramiz Saad,
Understood.
I think.
Saad, yeah.
His last name is spelled S-A-A-D. I'll leave that in the description.
Sad means happy, not sad. Please.
Signing off. Have the best day ever.
Yeah.